So the story we're selling is please like, subscribe, and or follow. This is Drew Really News, please. Otherwise, we have to get real jobs.
Yeah.
And then you can tell your friends or, people you don't like that they can find us on iHeartRadio and Pandora and Breaker and CastBox.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true, as far as you know.
I have a disclaimer for this show, by the way.
Which is?
I have a couple of stories here that parents, you don't want to let your children listen. Hang on, children, you may not want to let your parents listen to this without you to explain what's going on. There are a couple that are a little odd.
All righty. Dateline Berlin. A nearly decade-old burglary has been solved after DNA found on a partially eaten piece of sausage, auf Deutsch, Wurst, matched the DNA of a man held in France on an unrelated charge. Police in Schwelm say the Wurst belonged to the victim, and the burglar, a 30-year-old Albanian citizen, helped himself to a bite during the break-in.
Little nosh, what do you do?
The police have not determined whether the sausage was bratwurst, knockwurst, or blutwurst, just that it was a common German wurst. Unfortunately, here the story takes another turn for the worst, as the statute of limitations on the burglary has expired and the criminal will not be extradited to Germany. All of that just to get to that joke. To you.
Our Wurst is the best. A Pennsylvania woman, if you've seen this story, I apologize, but this is so classic. This is true, really. We were just talking at our house the other day. Our kids, our coaches are coaching different sports with my grandkids. And they can't believe the amount of flack and interference they take from parents. And because we always had, the one basic rule. If you and your coach have a problem with you you and your coach figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
my job.
On that team, you're a part of that team. You to know what's going on better.
Yep.
Apparently that's changed. Now parents, anyway, Pennsylvania woman accused of creating deep fake pictures of her daughter's cheerleading rivals, doctoring photos and video in an attempt to get them kicked off the cheerleading squad.
Boy, I wish my mom had done that for me. I'd have loved to have been on the cheerleading squad.
If you give it 20 years, you probably will be.
Yay.
The Bucks County District Attorney's Office last week charged the 50-year-old mom with 3 misdemeanor counts of cyber harassment of a child and related offenses. When I was a boy, we always figured adults knew better. The woman manipulated photos from social media of 3 girls on the Victory Vipers cheerleading squad in Chalfront to make it appear as if they were drinking, smoking, and naked. She also sent messages with these so-called deep fake pictures to the girls, suggesting they off themselves. She denies that any of this ever happened, that it's all a great, deep, and egregious lie. And honestly, whether it is or not, either way, something is very sick in this little Pennsylvania school. Very.
Oh, baby. And every now and again, something like that surfaces.
Yeah.
There was the mom in Texas years ago who took out a hit on other cheerleaders.
Luckily, the hitman was a cop, but
but I'm still calculating if I could be on the cheerleading squad in 20 years, I'll only be 83.
Yeah, but I'm thinking with the surgery that's going to be required, it's going to take that long for you to adjust.
Well, I'm going to need several new pairs of knees if that's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Some time ago, a neurosurgeon had stabilized. Some time ago, a neurosurgeon had to stabilize a patient's head for surgery. He used a frame with 3 spikes to hold the head in place. Due to the angle necessary for the surgery, the patient needed to be face down. Things were going swimmingly when the incident occurred, and you knew it had to.
Okay.
As the patient's anesthetized head was being placed in the frame, there was slippage. And the patient's eye
No.
landed on a spike,
No.
perforating it. At first, the doc poked a bit at the eyeball to determine what was what. Assuming he was in a panic at that point.
Pretty much an eyeball, Doc.
When the anesthetist told him, just call the ophthalmologist, who tidied things up nicely, thank you very much.
Can you imagine the phone call, though? You want what?
What happened? A spike in the eye. Well, thank God it wasn't the Transcontinental Railroad that we were
That
dealing
would be
with.
worse, yeah.
After surgery, the doc had to discuss the event with the patient.
I'll bet he did.
To his
Another
shock,
conversation I'd like to hear.
to his shock, surprise, and awe, or surprise, shock, and awe, patients looked at him and said, "Oh, that's okay. I'm blind in that eye anyhow."
Wow. If I'm the doctor, I'm thinking, I should be drinking. Why am I talking to you?
I'm never going to stop drinking.
I'm quitting now. Here's my new address. Joe's. Oh.
TV.
Kazakhstan-based bodybuilder Yuri
Smith.
Yuri Tolochko.
I don't know. I can't read it.
Anyway, Yuri's a bodybuilder, and we've seen him in the news because he was. He had a thing about they're like girls, only they're not girls. No, wait, that doesn't work in this day and age. They're think of Barbie, only taller, and
Dolly Parton.
not a live person. And anyway, it's a sex doll, right? He had a thing with sex dolls. He just did.
Oh yeah, we brought this guy up before, right?
And then he married one. And then
yeah.
created more buzz this last fall on social media following his divorce from his former lover, Margot, the doll he married, after they had dated for 8 months. I'm not making this up.
They were married. And what, did she have a complaint?
Well, let's see. Yuri had in the past made those of us who are on the internet, and whether we wanted to know or not, aware of issues, the going on things between him and Margot, and that he wanted to try things and keep exploring. So once while Margot was being repaired, don't go there, the weightlifter explored other things and then cheated on his wife, the blow-up doll, with some silver thing.
Okay. Oh,
I just want to say ever so sadly, this is the world my grandchildren will grow up in. The man was contemplating his lifestyle choices and has decided to unload Margot and have several wives instead. He told media houses that he wanted to take things further. And yes, he's even tried to meet another sex doll. On Instagram recently, he announced the divorce and introduced his new queer wife, Lola. Lola, you see, has yet to decide on her sexual and gender identity.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And is in search.
Oh, my. Well, why did he have
Wait for it.
Okay.
Taking to the post, he said, I'm going to leave out certain body parts, but some of this just fits for This Is True, really. Lola has a woman's head and a chicken's body.
Does not.
That's what he said. I'll show you one day. I identify her as a massive chicken. Be honest. Right at this moment, you're either disgusted or thinking, wow, is my life normal? Thank you. No word on if the chicken blows up, but I don't. I mean, it could be a. I mean,
exploding
blow
chicken,
up
a blow-up
way,
chicken.
depending on what kind of.
Well, don't let it eat the leavings from any sort of military thing that went on.
Or maybe do. Just wondering out loud.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Is there a professional that can help this guy?
Think about that for just a second. I'm guessing a baseball bat to the back of the head And when he wakes up, see how he's doing. Or maybe lay off the steroids.
Yeah, well, boy, that might help.
No word on yet, by the way, if Margot's getting any settlement.
She had to talk to that kid who's suing his parents.
I'm thinking maybe.
This is true, really news. Send email to TiTR@netradio.network.